Okay. Yan. Alright. Hi guys. Hi class. So this would be for the discussion for your MID100 Module 2. So that will be health, wellness, and illness. So as you can see on your module copy, health and wellness as well as illness are defined. So in traditional definition, health is the presence or absence of disease. Okay, so what do you mean by is the presence or absence of a disease? So technically, health is defined if may sakit kayo or wala kayong sakit. Okay, so according to Florence Nightingale, the first nurse, health is a state of being well and using every power the individual possesses to the fullest extent. So you're healthy if you can able to use all your capabilities as well as your full body to do such act or to do such actions or to fulfill your position so that you're healthy. According to World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, World WHO is contradicting the traditional definition of health. So, because health in traditional way is defined as the presence and absence of a disease, while World Health Organization or WHO mentioned that health is a complete state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, in short, you are healthy if you don't have any physical pain, mental disturbances, and you are not isolated to you are not isolated. So, as we talk about the other topics previously, man is a social being. So in short, so it also connotes that if you are healthy, then you should be a social well-being. Okay? So Talcott persons, health is the ability to maintain normal rules. The same goes with that one. According to the U.S. Commission of Health Needs of the Nation, health is not a condition. It is an adjustment. It is not a state, but a process. The process adapts the individual not only to our physical, but also our social environments. Okay. American Nurses Association defines health as a dynamic state of being in which the developmental and behavioral potential of an individual is realized to the fullest extent possible. So, nakikita nyo naman na there are different kinds of definition when it comes to health. But one thing's for sure, if you don't have any sickness at all and you can perform your role, your duties and responsibilities without any hindrances, then you're healthy. Physical, mentally, and socially. Okay? So health is a highly individual perception and can describe health as the following: being free from symptoms of disease and pain as much as possible. So technically, if you don't have any health issues and pains at all, you are healthy. This is the first description. Second would be being able to be active and do what they want or must, as I mentioned a while ago, being in a good spirits most of the time. So yes, these three perceptions of health describe as follows. Well, that is what I mentioned a while ago. If you are healthy, absence of pain, no diseases, can perform your role, active, and eventually uplift, very positive in life. So that will be health. You are healthy. So, what is wellness? So when it comes to wellness, it's a state of well-being that involves working on all its aspects. So when we say wellness, it is all about the generalization, the whole. So, well, technically, health health is only the common terms for this one, but when you say wellness, it involves everything. So wellness is defined as a state of well-being that involves working on these particular aspects, which is emotional, physical, spiritual, environmental, social. So that will be the 5 aspects of human being: emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, social, and environmental. Okay. So physical is merely the ability to carry out daily tasks, achieve fitness, maintain adequate nutrition, and proper body weight. Physical, as in your how do you look like, how your body functions. You're well if technically you are physically fit. Social, interact successfully. So yeah, the social aspects would be how you interpret, how you communicate to other people, because as we mentioned in the past discussion, man is a social being. So how we communicate is also part of our being well. The other one is emotional stability, where there are lots of people who have this type of hindrance when it comes to mental and emotional capabilities. Well, there are people that are emotional that is not inadequate for a situation. So that is also one of the role. Sometimes, yung mga sinasabi natin na masyado kang emotional, hindi ka dapat ganyan kasi hindi ka nag-iisip ng tama pag masyado kang emotional. So that is one also an aspect. Intellectual. So this will be the components, right? The 7 components. So intellectual is our ability to think, rationalize, so perceive information. Spiritual, this is your belief that keep you going. There are some instances that most of the aspects are not there, but if you do have more spiritual aspects, then that will be a great good thing as well, because it will help you to push through to all other aspects. If you do have spiritual support, let's say. Occupational, balance between work and leisure time. There are many people nowadays that we call them workaholics or other things that they're more into fun or pleasurable times. So that's it. If you are able to know the balance between work and pleasure time, that will be your occupational aspects. Environmental, the ability to promote health measures and improve the standard of living, quality in life in the community. So you are more on your surroundings, the environment as well. So yung masyado kang makakalikasan, yes, that's it. So well-being is a component of health that is a subjective perception of vitality, and feeling well can be described objectively experienced and measured, and can be plotted on a continuum. So in short, being well is a continuous process. So there's a lot of things going on, because technically how we respond to a specific situation is different from yesterday. Ibig sabihin nun, kung physically well ka ngayon, it doesn't mean that you're physically well tomorrow, because there are a lot of things that will happen, and it may drive us to think or react to a specific situation. So it's a continuous. It never stops. Okay? So go to your module. You can see there health and wellness modules. So there is an adaptation module. This is Sister Calista Roy. So adaptation is a process of outcome whereby the thinking and feeling person uses conscious awareness and choice to create human environmental interactions. Adaptation. Sa lahat ng species dito sa mundo, tao, tayo ang pinakamay malaking adaptation process. Why? We can definitely go to other countries and we can adopt. We can learn their language and their culture, and our body can sustain or adapt to the environment. So we humans are the great adapters. Okay. Human being adapts to stimuli in one of these 4 modes. So psychological mode involves the body's basic psychological needs and ways in adapting with regards to the bodily needs. As I mentioned a while ago. There are things na nag-a-adapt ang tao dahil dyan sa dahil din sa kung saan sila. Now, what will happen during my college days, may nalaman ako or may nabasa ako, I guess, pero hindi ko na matandaan. Bakit yung mga Pinoy pango, tapos yung ibang lahi naman is matatakas yung ilong. Meron yan, merong psychological reasoning yan dahil din yan sa adaptation. Kasi maliban sa naging hereditary na natin, maliban sa naging it runs with our genes na pango tayo. May narinig din ako na it's about adaptations. Geographical area. And dahil din yan sa geographical area natin, most likely the consumption of oxygen supply on how you breathe on your geographics. I couldn't remember anymore the specific reason why. Pero ang alam ko doon is parang sa lugar lang. Then dahil sa lugar, humidity, yun, malamig ang hangin, mainit ang hangin, yan. It is for you to be adaptive on the place where you usually breathe. Kaya nagkakaroon din sila ng adaptation sa mga physical features natin. Okay, let's move here. Subconcept mode includes the physical self and personal self. Self, it's yourself. Physical and personal. Role function, performance of duty space and given position within society. Role function can be differ kasi usually as children or as tawag nito, ang mga bata pa tayo, we do have this role as a child in the family. But as we grow older, we became the parent role. So it changed. Not necessarily na inapunti kung citizen ka lang dati or barangay kagawad ka na ngayon. No, it's not that. The interdependence mode involves one's relationship with significant others and support systems that provide help, affection, and attention. So as you can see here, guys, on class, on the number 1 is all about how your body reacts or adapt. Second is how do you view the adaptation for yourself. The third would be the changing of rules. If you're in a certain place, so if you're in a certain place, you might be able to change your role. For example, dito ka sa Pilipinas, mayaman kayo, so puro ka lang gala, puro ka lang mayaya ka, gano'n. But when you go abroad, what your life here is different from your life there. So that will be role changing. Tatrabaho ka doon, dito hindi ka nagtatrabaho. Parang gano'n. Interdependence mode is how you interact with other people. So ganun pa rin sila. Theory of Expanding Consciousness by Margaret Newman. So, health is the expansion of consciousness. Health is an evolving unitary pattern of the whole, including patterns of disease. Consciousness is an informational capacity of the whole and is revealed in the evolving pattern. Pattern identifies the human environmental process and is characterized by meaning. So, previous lectures, sinasabi doon na health is a process, it's a continuous process. Andito naman si Margaret Newman, sinabi naman niya talaga dito na a unitary pattern of all. So, it is somehow interrelated or magkaugnay-ugnay. Okay? So the agent-host environment model. Agent-host. Namin natin yung agent. So this is also called ecologic model by Leville and Clark. Okay? Used primarily in predicting illness rather than in promoting wellness. Okay. So more often they are predicting the illness rather than i-promote nila yung wellness. So, 3 dynamic interactive elements para sa kanila is the agent, the host, and the environment. Agent, any environmental factor or stressor like biologic, chemical, mechanical, physical, or psychological that by its presence or absence, some nutrients can lead to illness. So, ito si Level and Clark. They are not promoting wellness, but rather than they are predicting the illness. So in short, itong tatlong to na sinasabi nila na dynamic, 3 dynamic interactive elements, ito yung sinasabi nila na like nagkukos ng sakit or nagkukos ng magiging hindi ka well. Okay? So, yun nga, yung agent, yung mga chemical. Tapos yung host, ito yung tao who may or may not be at risk of acquiring a disease. So, may risk na makakuha ng sakit or yung hindi makakuha ng sakit. Technically, we are hosts. All of us are hosts. Environment, all factors external to the host that may or may not predispose the person to the developmental of a disease. So, yung ginagalawan natin. Una, yung agent, yung nagkukos ng disease, host tayo, environmental, paligid. Yan yung tatlong aspects nila. Okay, let me check here. Ito naman si Don's high-level wellness. Right, let me check here. In which health disease environmental, my graph, my drawing should be done. Okay. It is somehow distinguishes or demonstrates the relationship between the 4 of the arrows. Like very favorable environment, death, peak wellness, very unfavorable environment. So, yes. So technically we are well, but if you're going to transfer to other environment, that's the time that we know how to adapt. But somehow, bago tayo maka-adapt, dadaan muna tayo sa mahirap na parte, which is parang may cause unfavorable environment. Hindi talaga natin kaya. Okay. Illness Wellness Continuum. This is by John Travis. So that will be 2 arrows. High-level wellness and premature death. Okay? So, movement of the right of the neutral point indicates increasing levels of health and well-being for an individual. High-level wellness can be achieved in 3 steps. 1. Awareness. 2. Education. And 3. Growth. In contrast, movement of the left of the neutral points indicates progressively decreasing levels of health. Like nandito na yung disabilities, symptoms, and signs. Yung neutral point nasa gitna. So, as you can see, if you're aware of the things and you're educated, then you grow. So, if you are not aware of those things, pwede kang bababa ng isang level papunta sa treatment part of it. Magkakaroon ka ng signs, then symptoms, and then disability. As you progress, kung dito ka sa right side, as you progress, high level of wellness, if you are aware of your environment and the things that may cause you harm, then you will be educated on how to prevent them. If you were able to prevent them, then you can grow high level of awareness. So in short, if you miss to be aware of your environment, it may cause you harm, and then that will provide you a signs, and then the symptoms, and then disability means, total disability. Like for example, you are not aware that you are diabetic, okay? Pero pinabayaan mo lang. Kinakain mo pa rin yung dapat na bawal, so wala kang exercise, so magkakaroon ka ng signs. After a few signs, kakaroon ka na ng symptoms. Tapos when it comes to disability, it's either blindness, mabubulag ka, or amputation, or mapuputulan ka ng paa. Pag hindi gumalaw. Ganun lang yun siya. So the 4+ model of wellness. This would be by Baldwin and Kunger. Okay. So consists of the 4 domains of inner self: physical, spiritual, emotional, and intellectual. The elements of the outer system that will be environment, culture, nutrition, safety, and many other elements. It is just like aspects, or personal aspects, or a person's elements. Guys, huwag kayong malito kasi this is just the definition of health, wellness, and illness. This is a definition by a lot of professionals and a lot of author. So, iba-iba talaga yan. But definitely, isa lang talaga patutunguhan yan. How will you define if you are healthy, if you are well, and if you do have illness or disease? Yun lang. So, there are factors influencing health. Internal variables, which is the biological dimension, which we cannot deny. Hindi kaya nating baguhin. First and foremost, genetic makeup. So it's in your genes, hereditary. Most likely all of the diseases here would be 30% in hereditary. That's it. Like gender, your age, developmental levels. So as you grow older, there are different types of diseases that you may encounter, but that depends on your gender as well. For example, usually sa mga babae is they tend to stop calcium contents. They tend to stop the absorption of calcium when they menopause. Kasi wala na tutulong sa kanila para ma-absorb nila ang calcium. So as you can see, all those women na deprived sa calcium when they're younger, when they grow older, they shrink. Liliit sila. Ganon. Pero that would be a different scenario when it comes to men. Because men can still accumulate calcium, unlike sa women pag nag-menopause na sila. Usually, those females na nagkaroon na ng tub soup, it is a procedure in which the ovaries, fallopian tube, the uterus were removed. So, dahil ni-remove siya, at young age, wala na siyang source of calcium absorption. Okay? Physiological dimension, that will be your mind-body interaction, self-concept. So, it is about physiological, psychological, that is about yourself. Kung paano mo iniisip, o paano mo isipin. Cognitive dimension, it is your lifestyle choice on how you do it, how you think you live your life. The spiritual and religious beliefs includes in cognitive dimension. When it comes to external variables, technically the environment, your standard of living, family and culture beliefs, social support networks. Okay. Now, illness. A highly personal state in which a person's physical, emotional, intellectual, social development, talent, spiritual function is thought to be diminished. So in short, when it comes to illness, lahat ng aspects ng tao maapektuhan. But when it comes to disease, describe an alteration in body functions resulting to reduction of capacities or a shortening of normal lifespan. When it comes to disease, alteration of body functions, hindi na nagagamit yung mga kamay nila. Hindi na nagagamit yung parte ng katawan nila. Okay? Or the shorten of life expectancy. Okay. To differentiate illness and diseases, nandyan lang siya. Nandito siya. Nakalagay niya siya. All you have to do is read it. Okay. These following pages, guys, is self-explanatory. So all you have to do is just go ahead and try to read those one out. Okay. This as you read your modules, class, this is segregated into those three things: health, wellness, and illnesses. And usually, the same person are distinguishing all those types of aspects: the health, the wellness, and the illness. So sila din yung bumabalik-balikan kung binibigyan nila ng definition na. And as you can see, all of these things are self-explanatory. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, class tapos na yung module 1 and 2 natin. So, probably I will just go ahead and try to get in touch with you via our group message. And would like to inform you that we will also having quizzes every after our lecture. So what I can suggest is, since I will be posting these videos, so what I'm going to do is I will just go ahead and try to create a lecture video in advance so that you may be able to see it and listen to it. At then pagkatapos nun, the same time, the same schedule. Usually yung mga lecture ko naman is hanggang 30 minutes lang. So meron pa tayong another 30 minutes to sum up for your quizzes. Okay? So stay tuned for other lectures, and I will do it as soon as possible, and I will just inform you. So after I post this one out tomorrow, on how we can proceed with your quizzes. Alright, so bye for now. Thank you.